Hello, hello. Welcome to the Painted Garden. If you are new to my channel, which you probably are because it's a new channel, I'm hoping that this whole series, Life with Susie, is little snippets of what an artist, at least what this artist does in life. I hope it creates a community, and I hope it finds some kind of joy in your life that you want to keep coming back day after day, Monday through Friday, and check out what we're doing. If it brings a smile to your face or it warms your heart, I know I've done what I've planned to do. So with that being said, I am every lesson will be very minimal as far as what you need. I'm going to use watercolors for a majority of this. As everything flows and starts to evolve and grow, I will learn how to do all kinds of extra things, upload like templates for you and things like that. So it's an ever process, but today will be our very first class that we're going to be doing. I guess it's actually a practice. I like to consider art as a practice, just like you practice yoga, because you never really arrive. There's always something that you can do that will improve your art. So let's just call it an art practice. And I highly suggest, I need to hear this for myself anyway. Sorry. There we go. That you practice your art 15 to 20 minutes a day. Today we're gonna do maybe closer to 30 minutes because I guess I was told that YouTube kind of likes 30-minute videos. But it's all good. So no worries. We're just gonna go, and when we're done, we're done. I don't have a huge technical direction I want to go in. So this is what we're going to be painting, sort of. I want you to feel confident from the very first day that we do this. So I just printed this flower, which unfortunately I was supposed to print it as a 5x7 and it came out, I didn't, me and technology, sometimes we speak the same language, but most of the time we don't. I should have made it a little bit smaller, but I printed on a full sheet of paper and actually told it to stop printing here at the end when I figured it all out. Anyway, we're going to paint just this flower right here, and we're going to, sorry, I'm trying to check something. We are going to create this, but the reason I want to print it out, and print it out on just regular paper, not on cardstock, because we're going to transfer it. Well, if I would have put a pencil up here, but I didn't. So we're going to wing it, I guess. I don't have a pencil. Oh, wait, I do have a pencil. Yay. Yay me. Because like I said, I want this to be as simple as it possibly can. I want you to feel like you have created something amazing, even if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't even create a stick figure. Doesn't matter. We're not doing stick figures, so you're in luck. All right, so I'm going to flip this camera view, and we are going to get started with our little painting. Usually if it's the right size, I would not at all tell you that it will take probably more than 20 minutes, but you can take as long as you need, okay? Because this is your art practice, and you need to do you, and whatever makes your heart happy is exactly what's going to make me happy, okay? All right, so let me flip this view a little bit, and then we will go from there. I hope I don't make you dizzy. Here we go. All right, so here we go. Let's see if I can't get this a little closer. Whoops! That's what I was afraid of. My little ring just fell off its little thing. Don't mind me. Hopefully in the next week we have a better studio. Things will be ever better, ever learning, ever growing. That's what I tell you. You have to keep growing. Okay, here we go. People say that they like knowing that you started from nothing. Well, here you go. All right. Needless to say, I think that's as close as I'm going to be able to get without knocking everything else over for a second time. Okay, here we go. Now, this flower right here, this is the one we're going to do. Okay. what I want to do is I'm just going to focus here. Okay, I don't care about the rest of this, but here's the fun part, and here's what makes it easy for you to be able to understand and be able to do this too. Here we go. There, that's a little better. Okie doke. So this flower, what we're going to do is you're going to turn it over, and I can kind of still see it too. Oh, but my pencil needs sharpened. Okay, so we are going to scribble. Usually I tell you to scribble like this, but apparently my pencil, which I wasn't, I guess, 100% prepared, is dull. So what we're going to do is we're going to create carbon paper. You're going to scribble where you want to just do. I don't care about this flower. I'm just going to scribble on the back of that one flower. Hopefully this gives me enough to go by without worrying too much. Okay. Well, hopefully that works. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll set it here and use my handy dandy ink pen. And, well, oops. See, this is so new. It has that plastic thing on it. You too can do art. This really looks kind of cool. Can't even tell you what kind of flower this is. I'm not a flower person. Usually well, it's not even a usual thing. I'm just kind of guessing here what this one is, okay? Because I'm allergic to pretty much probably 95% of the world's flowers. So I don't know names. Yeah. Anywho, all right, let's see. Oh, it kind of did. It kind of did. I could see it. I know you might not be able to see it, but I think I can. Okay. So I'm going to set this here so I can keep it as a reference. And then we'll kind of try to draw this back in. Okay, you don't want it to be super dark. It's not something that is a good thing. But unless you're gonna like outline, I guess, then it would be a good thing. Okay, so there we go. Now you can kind of see it. Okie doke. With that, we have this. Okay. How did I? Oh, this one right here is the green one. So it's kind of drawn on like this. Yeah, so let's fold this so that you can see the right way. All right, there we go. Now, you can see this is, it's not actually watercolor paper. I would highly suggest watercolor paper. But I'm gonna divide it in half. This is an 8.5 by 11. There's no need to use a whole sheet, okay? Because we're just practicing. That's all we're doing. We're doing like a quick little practice. We're not going to judge ourselves. We're just gonna paint. So whatever flower you like, okay? It doesn't have to be this flower, okay? So I have water over here, and I have water on my brush, and I'm actually gonna kind of get this wet. This is why watercolor paper would be so much better, but you use what you have, and that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna move this up here. Okay, so the darkness is in here. So if you watch, okay, see? I don't want you to overthink this. This is truly, we're just throwing in some color right now so I can see my flower. Okay. See how this one seems to have, it's not as watered as that one because there's not as much water. Imagine that. Okay, so I'll just add a little bit of water. This is a water drop. It's kind of fun. The more water you add to watercolors, the thinner it gets. Do you see how this out here is really faint? And then what we'll do is we're going to touch a little bit of this. We're going to bring it out here because see on our original how it's just a really light purple. Okay, we're just having fun. Remember, we are not overthinking. I don't want you to overthink this. This is all about just taking a few minutes to create something. Okay, too often, and I am just as much to blame, too often you just let it go and you go, oh, I don't have time to practice. Well, the truth is you never have time. You have to make time. We have to make time for the things that are important to us. Art is important to me, and I promise you I am not any different than you. I don't make enough time to practice. I'm trying to be better about it, and I think that doing these videos will definitely help me because it forces me to take the time. So at least Monday through Friday, I know I'll be doing some art. Okay, now this right here is kind of a puddle of water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some paper towels, kind of just pat it where there's too much water. And I love the effect that it gets. It kind of sucks it up and then it takes it away. And in a way, it's kind of like an eraser. Okay? So just pat, pat, pat. See how it softened everything except for this line that, you know, I messed up on. It's okay. So I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to kind of just touch the napkin to take off the excess water. And then I'll use a little bit of this. Now, our flower, if you see, is really dark in here, like in where the center of the flower is. So I'm going to start to do that and just kind of coming in and looking at what I'm looking at is just a few lines. Okay, and watch this right here. It kind of follows the shape a little bit of your petal. See how it can just come in here. Oops, I'm sorry, I hit the camera. Dun, 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 dun. And then these are short, but look how this one comes clear out here. So we're gonna come clear out here. We're gonna start to pull some of these, not all of them. And I want you to vary the length. They're not all the same. Oops. So no worries, okay? Same with this, it's dark in here, and then I'm gonna pull some out that are pretty dark, but it follows the shape of your petal, so we're kind of coming over. All I'm doing is just trying to mimic what I see here, okay? I've never been a huge watercolor fan. I think a lot of you that know me know that, but I have really, really been focused in on that even in watercolors, realism can happen. You just have to learn how they work. And I watch a lot of watercolor people, okay? All right, so these I don't want as lines. This is what I'm doing right now. So I'm just gonna wash my brush a little, put a little more water in, kind of soften this, because I don't want lines, but I want the definition of the flower. See? Easy, easy. So far we've just used one color. That's probably all we're gonna use for this petal is this darker color, because then we can come out. If you want better, sharper lines, you just have to use a little bit less water on the paper. But watercolors thrive with water. I mean, that's why they're called watercolors, I imagine. I don't know. I haven't done a huge study on watercolors. I just kind of practice and watch a few people and do all the things. So as I go along, if you want to be a part of the channel from the very beginning, I would love it, love it, love it if you would subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost anything. It's absolutely free. I have to get to 50 subscribers before they'll let me actually do live on YouTube. When I created my channel, they didn't tell me that, or if they did, I didn't read it, which in their defense could possibly be what happened. Either way, I just have to keep recording and then uploading things. So I will keep doing it that way. but share with your friends. I'll post the link on Facebook for you to do to sign up. I changed it from Create Your Canvas to Life with Susie because my life is multifaceted, and I thought it sounded a lot more fun if I said Life with Susie, because Mondays is painting, Tuesdays we're gonna do color theory. I'm just adding a little blue to my purple to make it here. Oops, I'm off the view too. And I'm doing it over here in this little thick cubby like thing to make it a little bit darker. Where was I? Oh, Tuesdays is all about color theory. Color theory is something, because I am a self-taught artist, so I just kind of, by experimenting, but learning so much about on social media has been a lot of stuff about color theory. So I thought, and I started learning and watching, and it is some of the most fascinating stuff ever. So I want to incorporate that in my YouTube channel. This is watered down purpley color that I created to create a shadow. So this over here, this petal is on top of this petal, so I'm going to create a little shadow. Same here. Wednesdays is all about children. I want them to feel like they have a safe place they can go to. So we're going to be doing a couple different children's things on Wednesday. It could possibly, that will be like a multifaceted thing. Some days we're going to do probably the same kind of thing, just color theory, but from a child's perspective. Maybe it's just going to be learning the scientific ways of mixing colors. Like I have an art student that we do a Zoom class on Thursdays, and we're learning about primary colors, like what they are and how to create new colors. So yeah, lots of fun things. Okay, so then we have this center part, which seems to be the same colors. We're going to kind of dab, but then I'm going to use a little bit more color, a little bit more water, not color, a little bit more water around here. See how it changed it? Okay, then I'm going to just touch it. Okay, I'm just kind of using the color that's there to kind of pull these together to make them look like they're blended together. Just use the tip of your brush with a little bit of water. There's actually a water drop there. Play with it. Remember, this is our practice. This is not professionalism. This is a art practice. I'm just taking some of this color. I'm going to keep this lighter color around the edge. And I'm kind of just touching. I'm going to add a little bit of my purple. Blue to my purple, sorry. So that I can have some darkness. See how it takes over? Touch it a little bit. It went way too much, so we're going to kind of touch. All right, look at that. Okay. Now, if you really look in here, there's some green. It is totally up to you if you want to do some green background. I think I am going to do a little bit. I'm going to choose this darker green. I believe it's sap green. This is just going to help my painting to look more complete. Okay, I'm going to take a lot of water though. See how it's pretty dark? I don't like that. I'm going to just kind of touch in around, use my paper towel to kind of dab where I want it to be a little lighter. Where you want it light, you're just going to add more water, okay? So I'm going to touch just a little bit, kind of come around here. The cool thing about watercolors is where it's dry, it doesn't want to move. So my petals, it's not going to really soak it up because it's dry there. Okay, so where I want it a little bit darker, I'm going to use a little less water, but I don't like that line, so I'm just going to touch water with my brush, just kind of pull it outward. There we go. And where there's an intense line, just kind of tap, pull it along. It will kind of erase itself. Ta-da, see? If you have a lot of water, see how it just kind of runs? I like that look. Then, like I said, in here, in the original, in the picture itself, there's a little bit of green in here. So we're gonna just touch. There, see? Da, 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 da. All right, and then I'm gonna put this out here. Now, if your petals on the outside especially are dry, they won't pick up this green. It is the weirdest, coolest thing ever. I love it. I mean, I'm still learning about watercolors, but this is, oops, I'm sorry, a great, great piece of information to know. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of put water in here. We're gonna put a little paint on here. I kind of come out here because I want to be able to use my brush to put it where I want it. Just in case, like this petal got a little wet and I don't want it to like absorb that green. So then I can dry off my petal first. I want you to take your time and just learn how the watercolor does this. Nobody but you is going to see this. So you don't have to worry and be like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not as good as you. I'm not as good as my neighbor. I'm not as good as the, you know, the kindergartner down the street, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're the only one that's going to see this. So I want you to take the time to practice. That's why I keep saying this is an art practice, okay? You only can improve if you keep practicing. So let's practice, practice, practice. Okay, right here in the center, it's not really popping. See our original? It's not popping like I want it to. So I'm going to, now that my paint's kind of drying out a little bit, it's getting a little stickier, I'm just using the tip of my brush. And I'm just kind of going to dot in, really randomly dot in around here to really make that pop. Okay. If you need a little blue, we could use a little bit of blue with that color. Okay. So I'm just using the tip and just kind of tapping in. I'm letting some of that purple show. Don't overdo it. And you know, since you have two sheets, if you need to, you can always go back and try again. I want you to learn to trust the process. I only learn from the process too, so it's all good. There we go. Now, I'm going to leave mine because I want it to remain soft. And remember, this is a practice, okay? It's not it's perfect on the first time around. It's not anything like that. I want you to just practice. So like here, if you want it to be a little bit more vibrant, all we have to do is just touch a little bit of water, add a little bit more paint, and you can come in here, kind of outline just a little, not a lot. Then I want you to take a paper towel and just kind of dab it. Do you see how it makes it a smidgen brighter, but not overly bright? You know, here. I want it to look like it's underneath. It's getting a shadow, but I don't want it to be too bright. Okay, so keep practicing, keep practicing. I'm gonna flip this camera again. Ta-da, there I am. Okay, so that is our very first flower. I wish I knew the name of it, but I don't. So I want you to practice, just practice. It is all good. It's okay if it's a blob. It's okay if you drop water on it. It's okay. It's just okay. Okay, so just hear me out. Just practice. I would encourage you just to spend 5-10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Get a book. If it's big like this, like if it's full 8.5 by 11, divide it in half. Even divide it in fourths, your page, okay? Do 4 on one page. That's fine. It doesn't have to be massive. Practice just means you practiced, all right? It's not an hour, it's not 2 hours, it's not anything. It is 10 to 15 minutes a day. I'm going to take my own advice and start doing this 10 to 15 minutes a day because I need to practice too. Remember what I said, it's a practice. You never actually get there. Art is a constant learning. You learn what works, you learn what doesn't work, you learn what makes it better, you learn if you fix it, and you also learn when you throw things on the floor and go, it is not fixable. You know what not to do next time. So I hope you have an amazing, amazing day. Happy Monday. And I am so happy that you came to the Painted Garden, and I will see you next week, or on Tuesday, we're doing color theory. So remember, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Life with Susie, and I will see you next week. See ya. God bless.